Happy birthday to a mentor of mine, Yoko Ono, a woman who I admire and respect, who I feel is wise, truthful, direct, whose work shake things up, and whose presence is firmly grounded in herself. I hold close what she said once. She said that she felt artists and musicians are controversial by nature, and that controversy is part of the nature of art and creativity. And if people aren't doing that, they're not artists, they're artisans. And I liked that. I like that a lot. I think about that quote a lot. Maybe it was a jab, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it needs to be. The conflict that I have with jabbing, in between that, do I or don't I, that's where art lives for me. And so people like her, they're very important because art is so important and has been in society. I see art becoming safe, watered down. I see art telling people what to do, when really for me, my art just asks me to stay true and find out what that looks like for me, so it doesn't push that truth, me, onto you. It reveals, and that takes courage. Yoko Ono is part of the Fluxus movement, which is my personal favorite movement, because they showed you the movement within themselves in their art. And to me, that is where the revolution starts. Misunderstanding is irrelevant to me now. I used to trip about that. I used to get so frustrated when people would choose to misunderstand me. But now, it doesn't mean a thing. What's the most important for me is that I understand her, we, she, all of us inside this little body. And maybe that takes a lifetime of I am, of wondering, of curiosity. But art gives me that. It gives me permission to find out, to practice myself, and to censor it, to sanitize it, to package it, to commercialize it. That's what selling out is. And I ain't got nothing to sell, but I have everything to give. There's a fine line with that, right? Come at the cost. So I just try to do my best to take notes from people who have come before me. And Yoko Ono is such an important part of my life. And I'm grateful for people like her. I'll leave you with this. I'm sure you've heard of cause and effect. But have you ever really sat with causing the effect? We're all alchemists, and we're all bringing something into fruition. So art helps me get clear with what it is that I want and that something else is guiding me to reveal. I ask all of you to pause and ask yourselves, what does the revolution look like for you? How does that feel? Most notably, what effects are you allowing to cause harm and fear and hate and violence onto you? You have the power. You are in control of yourself, your response, or your reactions. That's what I've learned. It's hard sometimes, man, but that's why art is so fucking great. The freedom to create, the freedom to practice, the freedom to express. What other ways would I want to be a slave? If I package my art, if I commercialize it, sanitize it, if I water it down, if I try to cater it to anyone, including myself, that work becomes a slave. And the person doing the work becomes enslaved. And I don't want to be a slave anymore. And so back in the day, all these artists, they used to do art because they wanted to unshackle themselves from these chains. Fuck the societal norms, right? The explosion was the revolution. The rejection, the exception, the feeling, the thinking. I can't tell you to shake things up, but I can. So that joy I've been talking about, that's one answer, one word. Yes. Yes. Sometimes I go, where is the fucking ladder? It's right here. It's you and me. So yes. Happy birthday, Yoko.